All right, I am live. So I wanted to give an update on my OpenClaw journey. It's been a crazy amount of time consumed on this. I thought I was going to make my life simple by going through it. I do want to test my audio. It's not coming up on this end, so I want to see if you can hear me. Okay, it is coming through. Okay. So I'm just going to talk. I can't hear anything back, so I can probably take off the microphones. But anyhow, so I started with AI, Grok, Perplexity, did Chat GPT for a while, and I've got Olama, and I'm trying all of them. And I use it to, kind of as the progression goes to brainstorm ideas on how to use this stuff in your business and kind of work on business plans. And it's fantastic, right? Because he's coming up with all these brilliant ideas on how to expand your business and what you can do. And I'm like, okay, well, let's look at doing OpenClaw. So I start brainstorming with Grok on OpenClaw and what it can do. And it's getting me all excited. Yeah, we can do this. We can do market research. We can go after expireds. We can, lead generation this way and this way. And I'm like, well, that's fantastic. So I went out and I bought an iMac Mini, right? Well, actually, I'll back up. I bought a PC, one of those small ones. It was like $600. And that should have, because I don't know how to work a Apple computer. So I bought that, and then I started with IronClaw. So I installed IronClaw, and it was nothing but troubleshooting down to Ubuntu. That's like command prompt. So I'm sitting there troubleshooting on that for days and days and days, and I just got fed up. And then I went out and I ordered an iMac, ordered the more expensive one, the 32 meg, and got the fancy one, and then started working with IronClaw on that one, and running into the same problems, just troubleshooting. So then I wiped out IronClaw and said, okay, I'm just going to use OpenClaw, and so I loaded OpenClaw on it, and I got it up and running. But it took a lot of troubleshooting, a lot of errors down to command level. So then I'm like, okay, it's up and running, fantastic. I'm moving now. I can kind of type into I'm using Grok as the LLM on that. So I can chat with Grok and say, okay, I want to do this, this, and this. Let's start out with, let's connect it to WordPress. Screeching halt again, back down to command prompt, just troubleshooting. And then, do this, type this code in, and, trying to figure out what the problem is. So that's been my journey so far. Most of my time has been on the command prompt trying to troubleshoot and debug everything. So it doesn't mean the technology doesn't work. It means it's the return on the effort is very low right now. I think it's a little too early for this kind of mainstream. I think you got to be kind of techie, and I'm not that techie. So I'm learning as I go. So I think a tech guy might have an easier time with it than I do. But anyhow, what I did learn so far in this, had I known this, I may not have pursued this quite this soon, is I wanted to put my entire real estate business on there because so much of this can be automated, right? So I picture I'll be, I don't know, meeting at a property or something, or I'll drive by a property and I need a CMA, right? I need a property value. So I could just call in and just call the computer and say, hey, can you do a CMA for 123 Main Street? And then boom, it'll do it, find the comps, and email it over to me, that kind of thing. And that was kind of what I was planning, to have my assistant on my phone. The computer would be my assistant. So that was what I had brainstormed with Grok, and that's what I was trying to build out. So most of the business in the real estate world is done from MLS. Now, MLS is proprietary data. Okay, I'm a member of National Association of Realtors, the Minnesota Association of Realtors, the local board, Minneapolis Area Association of Realtors, and a member of the MLS. I cannot access that data to utilize it the way I want to. There's no portal for me to take OpenClaw or my AI and go in there and pull the data for my own use. It's not equipped that way. It is locked down tight, even though I'm paying for it. I'm paying thousands of dollars for it. And the Zillow is an IDX feed. IDX feed is a public facing version of the MLS. So Zillow is a member of the board and gets their IDX feed to display it publicly. That is locked down tight. So you can't get at this information that I kind of need to build my business. So this is not going to transform the realtor business the way it will other industries right away. There's a lot of moats with the data. The data is very expensive to accumulate and maintain. So it's not something that's handed out lightly. And I see both sides of the argument. There is a lot of cost associated with it. So it's just, you can't just give it out for free. And there's a lot of legal aspects to it too. There's all these listings are under contract, and there's certain contract laws that have to be followed and maintained. And it's not that simple just to get access to the data. So that was very disheartening for me. That was kind of my plan, was to build my real estate business by being able to access this data to crank out CMAs, to be able to do market research, just to speed up my time in front of the computer and make my time in front of the computer very nominal. Instead, I've kind of quadrupled it because I've been in front of the computer troubleshooting this. What I can do with it, which will be beneficial, even though that doesn't work for real estate, is I am going to be able to prospect. I will be use it for prospecting, right? I can't go after expireds directly because that's data on the MLS. Now, what I could do is I could manually pull the data out, save it into an Excel spreadsheet, and upload it to the AI, and then it could do it. But at that point, I'm working for the AI. It's not working for me. So I don't need a job. I'm trying to simplify things. So where I've learned where I can use it is with my website. I can have it monitor my SEO, search engine optimization, and it'll write blog posts for me. Now, I ran into a hiccup with that because I want to connect it to WordPress. I, built out a website and set up the blog, and sure enough, OpenClaw thinks it's posting all these blog posts on there. None of it's getting posted. There's an error somewhere, and I'm already referring it to it as the person. That's how powerful AI is, even though it seems retarded. It is pretty amazing what it is doing. We can't figure out why it's not posting, right? It's saying it is, all the commands are going there. Everything's connected. There's no errors being recorded, but somehow WordPress removes it, like it thinks it's spam or something. So that I've spent, I don't know, 8-9 hours on trying to debug that already, yesterday and today. So I'm trying to fit this in around my schedule. So once that's up and running, that'll be able to do the blog. Does anyone read the blog? Maybe, maybe not. But what it does do is it helps with SEO. It gets you ranked on there. So then people can find you and you start building around your keywords. And then you do landing pages with this. So landing pages are, let's say you do like Facebook ads or Google ads, and then it'll drop you into a landing page, which you can also do search engine optimization. So then I can type that into AI, any of the AI models that I mentioned earlier, Llama, Perplexity, ChatGPT, or Grok, and just say, okay, I want to do 2 transactions a year. What's my ad spend to get this kind of clientele, right? Whatever you're kind of after, first time home buyers, you want to get, the move up buyers, whatever, whatever market you're in. So it'll kind of run some projections on that and give you an idea what you're going to have to spend on ads to do that. So I don't know if those are correct numbers, but it's giving me at least something to start with. So I'm building that out. And what I did get finally set up, and this took me 2 days, 2 days of troubleshooting, is my little phone here. I can now go to Signal, not Telegram, Signal. I think it's Signal. There was 3 of them. I think I'm on Signal now, where it'll go voice activated. No, it is Telegram. So I can go to Telegram and I can just do voice activated, and I can talk to my computer and say, hey, I'm out on the field. I've got room dimensions of this, this, and this, and it'll start taking notes for me, and it's going to record it into software. I just created, what is this software called? Yeah, Obsidian. That's the name of it. So there's Obsidian, which kind of tracks all this stuff, and it'll create folders for me. So all this stuff is recorded, and it's going to be recorded on my computer. So if Obsidian goes away or OpenClaw goes away, all these notes will still be saved. So I can keep all that information in there. I can go into Telegram and talk to my computer and say, hey, I need to mark this calendar for this date. Or I did connect it to my email. I gave it its own Gmail account, not mine, but I gave it its own Gmail account. So it's Craig's assistant. So I can fire that off and say, hey, send an email to whatever email address and tell them whatever. Carpeting's good for next Wednesday or something like that. You can go ahead and install the carpeting. Or go send an email to all my subcontractors to say I need quotes on this property, and then attach the specs, whatever I'm working on. So there are applications that this is going to be very handy to. I'm just kind of working those out right now. So I do like that Telegram aspect of being able to talk to my assistant. And then my assistant's going to have different things on there. So I can probably give it some formulas on cap rates and return on investment on rental properties. And, I can give it, I've got a spreadsheet of rough costs for remodeling. So I can say, hey, I'm walking through 123 Main Street and it needs a new kitchen, it needs a new bathroom and all new flooring. It's whatever, 1,600 square feet, 3-bedroom. So I need a new kitchen and one new bathroom. Give me a ballpark estimate on that. And it could probably crank that out and then just text me right back what it is. So I can get that information right on the spot. Now I can probably do that with AI as it is, but I can keep everything in a data hub through Obsidian on my computer. So I'm kind of creating a brain is kind of the way I'm envisioning it. And this technology is really new. It's going to change fast. So I'm probably working, as I'm building this up, the new stuff's right behind, fixing it up and making it better. But at least I'm learning, right? And you're going to be able to adapt quicker and building kind of that communication with that super intelligence computer. So like lead generation, what I can do with it now that I've got once I resolve the WordPress issue on the blog posts and stuff, and then I have it connected with Gmail, I can't actually email these. That's the interesting thing about residential is you can't send an email. You can't cold call. You really have to do snail mail. That's about the only way to reach out to a prospect. Because of the different laws in place. But basically, let's say I can just tell it, hey, I want to go after foreclosures. Let's say foreclosures are starting to become a thing, and go find me the foreclosures in such and such a county, and sort by whatever price range, and whether there's a sheriff's sale or not, whatever. Give some sort of criteria, and then dump that information into Obsidian, and now take the ones that meet my criteria and go to, there's a number of postcard services or mailing services online that this will take it and just dump it into their computer. And then you'll have them with a budget and they'll automatically send this out. So you can set up that kind of prospecting on autopilot. So that's intriguing. So you could probably do like probate. You could probably do foreclosures pretty easy. That's all public data. Maybe some code violations, typical things that wholesalers might use to prospect. So all this stuff can be built on automatic pilot. The trick is the AI doesn't know what is legal and what isn't legal. So that's where I got to be real careful. It doesn't understand the can spam. It doesn't understand the do not call. And then there's a new, I forget the name of the rule, but you can't have like robo dialing. You can pick up the phone and you can dial someone manually and say, hey, are you interested in selling? But you can't have a computer dial a bunch of numbers. That's no longer legal. And if you get popped on, it's like $3,000 fine per call or $1,500 fine per call. So you got to be real careful with this. And the AI doesn't quite understand the nuances of it. So I've tried to build in, all the Minnesota rules on that. All the real estate rules on that. So it has a reference where to go to for the source on that, because it will. And I also had to put in all the MLS ethics rules, and they're just general rules with the with the MLS, because it'll try to breach those. It'll say, well, this is an easier way to do it, but doesn't understand that you can't do it without being in trouble and get some sort of legal fine or whatever. So that's where you got to be careful with this so far. What the best way I can describe my level with AI here is it's a great ideas guy. It's like a research tool. I think you just kind of mentioned I can brainstorm with it. I can come up with all these great ideas. And then when I actually want to implement it, it kind of goes, well, hey, hold it. I'm just an ideas guy. So it's having trouble doing the actual work, and I'm having to learn how to coax it to do the actual work. I do think it's going to be valuable, but there's a lot more to getting this set up than I anticipated. I thought I'd just be able to type it in and say, do this. Because when I was brainstorming with it, it was like, yeah, we could do this, and everything's going to be great. And when I actually go to do it, it's like, oh, man, that's a lot of work. Excuse me. Had a cough here. So I see we got a few people on the call. I'll kind of open it up. All right. Good afternoon. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Mansipal. And then what do we got? And what's going to happen? I think I kind of described what I ran into. It's been a real challenge. And then I'm going to cough again. How do I mute this? I got something in my throat. I may have to sign up soon. The lack of API access to proprietary databases will heavily limit sources of AI models. Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about, right? Is MLS is locked down so tight, Zillow's locked down tight. And then the other thing with like in sales, most salespeople, if you're going to go in consumer to consumer, the consumers are probably, you're probably on Facebook or somewhere like that, right? Where you might engage and interact with your clientele on Facebook, right? They're going to be your friends, sphere, family, that kind of stuff. Business to business sales, you might interact with them on LinkedIn. That stuff's locked down tight too. So you can't put any of this stuff on autopilot. I'm going to have to sign off here. I got something that just hit me here. I think I swallowed something wrong or something, but I just wanted to give you an update on where I'm at with my AI. It's been a challenge. I thought this was going to be super slick and just move everything over, everything automated. I don't think the program is going to disappear because there's a lot of troubleshooting and code behind the scene. It's not just a simple plug and play at this point. I'm told it's going to get better as things go on, but right now it's not. It's just kind of it's a process. So, well, I apologize for the sound. It's that coughing fit hit me, and I don't know how long I had this mic on mute or if it was on mute or not. So I am going to sign off, and I appreciate you logging on. I will try to get on tomorrow afternoon. I've got some market updates too. This isn't the only thing I'm working on. I just I hit my wall of frustration today with just troubleshooting this stuff. So with that, I'm signing off. Thanks for checking on. Talk to you.